So I've always wanted to do a sit-down video and talk to you guys about like a health update and be very upfront with what is going on with me. And I decided to pick up the camera today to talk about it. Let's get some things out of the way first, okay? This video is made just to be open and transparent with you. I really didn't have any intentions of sharing it with you at first because I am one of those people who like to do things in silence, and when I'm ready and maybe most of it is done and over with, then I would want to share it with you guys. Sorry about Millie. She's having her moment with the squeaker. So I apologize for that. Also, I'm not looking for any pity parties whatsoever. The reason why I had decided to share this with you is because some of you have been with my sick journey this whole time, and a lot of you guys were silent visitors until recently. I've got many messages from people saying that they have been through somewhat similar things, because if people had reached out to me that I've never met before. So because of that, I felt like I was able to share whatever, what was going on. So getting messages from people saying how much they feel better or the experience they went through and all of that really had resonated with me, and it made me feel like I want to share it so that you know, and if you're going through this, is that you're not alone. Yeah, I get it. Social media is very much, you see what we want you to see, and really for the most part, yes, that is how it is. So I've talked about it. So in mid-March, I had enough. I could feel my heart beating out of my chest as I walked up a pair of stairs at my working place, describing to people that it was very hard to catch my breath, like very hard to breathe, and I get tired easily. So I had enough. I was like, guess what, guys? I need to go to the emergency room. I went to the emergency room, found out that I was anemic. And one of the reasons why I was anemic is because I've had my period for so long. Like, let's just say in a span of a year, I probably had my period for about 80% of that year. And, we're not talking about just like spot bleeding. We're talking about bleeding so bad that I had to sleep on puppy pads. Luckily, we had puppy pads because Millie had no use for them, and I was really the one who was using them. So it wasn't as bad until I started my new job. And at the beginning of this year, we're talking about like, it just happened so randomly that I could just be standing around at my job and I could be wearing all the protective gear that I needed, and I would bleed onto the floor. Luckily, I have great coworkers who are not scared or disgusted about it, and they were really able to help me. I went to the emergency room. I stayed there overnight. And then I had to have surgery. So I had 2 surgeries. One surgery was to have a complete hysterectomy. Okay, that's just to stop the bleeding. Something about the uterine muscle going into the wall, causing my body to bleed that way. They wanted to save one of my fallopian tubes. They wanted to save... Sorry, hold on. Sorry to cut off. My husband just called, and I literally had to tell him about... And... Sorry, I hope I get back on track. So, in lies what's been going on with me. So I told you guys that I went to the emergency room, I got surgeries, I got a hysterectomy, and they wanted to try to save one of my ovaries. I did have a cyst on both. So the one that was about 13 centimeters in size, they had to remove that whole ovary and that cyst altogether, but they wanted to save one because at my age, they said I'm still young. They wanted to try to keep it so I don't have to kick into menopause early and all of that good stuff. So got everything removed. Surgery was successful, and they sent all of those things to get it tested out. I find out a couple weeks after my treatment to go in and see the doctor to see if my incisions and stuff were healing, that I was diagnosed with stage 2 endometrial cancer, which is ovarian cancer. So they had asked me if anybody in my family has ever had cancer, and I said no. But I did have a whole list of things that my family has or have, and none of it was cancer. So on my last surgery, so I only had 2 surgeries in total. The second was to remove the other ovary, and they had taken out some lymph nodes, so they wanted to make sure everything to where my cancer had spread they had taken out, and they were successful with that, and I am so lucky and fortunate to have heard that. I'm very c'est la vie, so anything that they said that was good news, I took it and ran with it. I am mostly a very positive person, so I'm very much like, tell me what to do next, let's go, let's get this part of my life over with. Tomorrow, which is August, I don't even know what's tomorrow, honestly, August 14th, I'm not sure, is the first day I will be doing chemo and radiation. If anything, I'm not so much scared as I am excited to start with this part, because I think as soon as I'm done with all this, I want to close a chapter of this book, and I want to start writing a new one. I don't want to have to talk about this sickness anymore. And quite honestly, to talk about and say cancer, it was very hard for me at first. Like, I couldn't even, every time I thought about saying and speaking these words, it would just choke me up. But after living with it, finally accepting it, it's easier and easier to say. I wasn't intending on telling many people. So far, I've only really told my coworkers, my cousins that I see every other week or so. They know. And I like how they treat me as if it's just nothing. And I appreciate that, because that, I don't want to be, I don't want people to gently take care of me because they know that I have cancer. It's just, nowadays, I've just been realizing cancer is no longer such a taboo thing to talk about. Apparently, a lot of people have cancer. And to see them surviving, thriving, that's just everything that I want to be. And one of my goals in life, which is probably gonna sound like a really sad goal, was to at least make it past 60 years old. And the reason why I say that, or I've said that, is because both of my parents didn't. They didn't have cancer, no, but they were sick in their own sicknesses, and they never made it. So with that being said, I'm grateful that I caught it at a stage 2. Then I learned a little bit more about my family history of sickness. And all I really want to do is live life to the fullest. No regrets. And I want to take care of Millie and my husband. And I want to make sure, whether I'm here or I'm not, that they're 100% taken care of. I know I'll survive this and come out swinging harder. And for anybody who is out there who is watching this and is going through the same thing I am, doesn't have to be ovarian, endometrial cancer, any type of sickness, just know you got this. Think positive. It's okay to cry. It's okay to be in your feels. And I hope that if you're absolutely healthy, don't take it for granted. Live life still like it's short, because you never know what could happen, right? I want to see, even though I don't have kids of myself, I want to still have more doggies in my future. I want Millie to have a sibling. I want to see my nieces and nephews grow. I want to take on new auntie duties. If you're out there and you know who you are, I am ready to take on auntie duties. And I just want everybody to be happy. I want everything to go right with you guys. But thank you for listening to me today. I didn't mean to be crying, but I thought this was absolutely the best time to talk about it, since I found out about, unfortunately, more passing in my family. And just take care of yourselves out there, okay? I appreciate everyone, but especially to the ones who had messaged me and told me about your fight. I appreciate it because it gives me hope and it makes me less scared. And I hope that this video, wherever you are, helps give you strength. To the future, guys. May it be blessed, abundant, and stress-free. Live life to the fullest. And if you haven't already known about Maui, one of our islands, are deeply in trouble. I will link down how you can help. I'm not on that island, so whoever had messaged me, thank you for your concern, but I am not on that island. It is an island away. I've only been to Maui once and I didn't see much, but all of our islands are beautiful. So if you would love to help out, whether it's donating your time or just sharing, I'll leave all of the information down below, okay? I love you guys always. You guys are always Alice.